I thought for this week's reflection, I would give a little bit of feedback about the class since this week, primarily, we just went through Apollo, looked at that visualization for a while, um, and had Cassandra talked about. So I wanted to bring up the feedback I brought up to Laisha. I'm sure that you, Tom, will get some of this feedback, but I thought that I would mention that the thing that I really feel could improve about the class is just adding a little bit more of both small and large group discussion and work as well. I think that the class is really great. I think a lot of people really enjoy it, and you do a really good job at allowing the class to direct itself, but then also get us back on track. So I really do enjoy the class, but I think that the thing that happens most often that's unfortunate is people get disengaged because either A, what we're doing at the level of the class is something we've already done, so some people are not interested, or B, we linger for a long period of time where we're doing something that doesn't really involve everybody, so people just slowly kind of get into their computer and do their own thing. Also, I think for some people, the language barrier is really hard. So at the class level, it's hard for them to get clarification on things. And this is something that could be fixed by doing some small group activity. So what I mean by that is maybe regarding the paper or regarding whatever tool we worked on that week, or after someone presents a tool, maybe doing a 30-minute small group breakout session where we either work on that tool or we talk about the problems we had with that tool. And then we could even come back to the big discussion where each of our groups has something to kind of contribute to a bigger discussion. But this way, I think it prevents people from getting disconnected from the activity, and also for people who have tougher time with the language, it allows them to be in a smaller group where they can get clarification and ask questions. Yeah, so, and I think, like, for instance, this past week when we were doing the large group activity with Node Excel, I noticed a lot of people, and even myself, were floating a little bit into their own computer world where you were on your computer reading something else because you'd already seen this. So I think it's valuable to go back through the exercise we did to see where challenges arose, see how different people solved them. But I think doing it at the level of the whole class, it does lead to disengagement. So I thought I would give that feedback. Also, I think that Node Excel is a really good tool. This is kind of side to my main discussion here. And I would just like to see it build out, maybe not as a overlay on Microsoft Excel. There's a lot of very simple spreadsheet templates it seems like you'd be able to do this with. I guess it's to promote use for people who already know Excel, but I think that it does make sense to have a spreadsheet format that is directly integrated with a graph. However, I think that it was just way too clunky and slow and would need a lot of work to make it something that people really wanted to use for big data. I think for really, really small data, it's a decent thing. However, I don't even know that a person who's savvy with Excel would find it easy to get going. And there's so many dependencies. I would be interested in seeing a development that involves less dependencies, like Windows and Microsoft Office. Okay, yep, so there's my feedback.